the number one poster for the UFO, you could bring up the slide just real quickly, is a belief system. The X-Files in the 90s. I Want to Believe, that famous poster, or E.T. And when you look into who is behind the scenes advising people like Steven Spielberg in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I believe that's the name of that film, it's people connected in the deep state. It's people connected, and I even got some slides of who they are as well, advising them. And the symbology of these films goes even deeper. I love looking into the symbols. Since Jordan Maxwell pointed out Saturn symbols back in like 2010 or whenever that was, when I saw it, I just saw it everywhere. And then I started looking more into the symbols and the Freemason symbols. Here's a couple. I'll pull it up on the slide, but like the tracing board, for example, is the UFO, in my opinion. Right here's Manly P. Hall. You got people that are connected to this whole pushing the alien agenda, looking into these esoteric concepts, even the idea of the gray alien that is talked about looks a lot like Lom, which was Aleister Crowley's, who he saw the alien. And here's a couple more slides, and I could pull them up. But yeah, this Freemasonic symbolism is all over the place when I look at the symbology of the cow, right? The cow mutilation, I believe, is the checkerboard. And that might sound kind of silly, but I will definitely show some slides, and then maybe it won't be as silly.
And this is Krishna right here, right?
Yes, this is Krishna. So the idea of a disc or a saucer is already in the collective unconscious, as Carl Jung would call it, I guess. And he wrote books on the UFO. So these ideas of symbols are easy ways to manipulate our consciousness, and they can get perverted and used, and people go to war over symbols. There's power in symbols. But when the aliens invaded in Las Vegas, they showed the Simpsons character wearing the checkerboard floor right there, which reminds me of the cow. And the cow is sacred. But you could see Ezekiel wheel, Carl Jung's wheel, the disc. Because what I believe is happening is they're setting up for this religious, new religious system that's being built.
Yeah, everyone likes to reference the Book of Ezekiel, the Book of Enoch for evidence of extraterrestrials and aliens. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned that Kenneth Arnold was one of the first people to actually equate the flying disc and the flying, he never really called it flying saucers. It was something else. And the news media misquoted it as being flying saucers in shape. But as far back as I can tell, Kenneth Arnold was one of the first people to equate the Book of Ezekiel into ufology. And
Wow.
then it later got picked up by Eric von Daniken and Ancient Aliens.
Wow. Well, yeah. Well, this meme magic with Ancient Aliens, right? This is how they get into the psyche of the collective, is through meme magic. Donald Trump, for example, rose to power through memes. So did Andrew Tate. Elon Musk, crypto, Dogecoin, the power of a meme, the power, which actually goes back to Timothy Leary, who was talking about it, which is connected into this whole new religious programming. And the horns are a disc too, which is the letter A. The letter A is the bull horns, and the bull is the cow. Right there's Mithra with the cow, the sacred cow, and I call them the Illuminati cows, which goes into that topic, which where they do the experiments on the cows.
Do you think
Can
that the cow
can you?
thing is a military operation though, like the cattle mutilation? Do you think that that's the military messing with animals?
Oh, it absolutely is. And shout out to Matt Ehret. I mean, you got a podcast with him. He's been doing some great info. That's where I learned about Paul Benowitz's MK Ultra and how they were feeding him all this uh, false information to make him go crazy. But Edward Lansdale did the psychological operations in the Philippines, and he was tapping into the mythology of the Filipinos and this vampire called the Aswang, I believe. I don't know how to pronounce it. But what they would do was take bodies and suck them dry, just the same as the cow. And he would use these mythologies to move it into this whole cow mutilation. So these mythos and stories of vampires, the occult, these intelligence agencies, and the UFO are all part of the same operating system in a sense. And it's also his birthday today, February 6th.
Oh dang! What a coincidence right there, bro! Dang!
It's also Adam Weishaupt's birthday as well, February 6th.
Happy birthday, Edward Lambsdale.
Yeah, and Adam Weishaupt too.
Yeah, and Adam
Yeah,
Weishaupt. Wow,
yeah.
incredible synchronicity, bro.
Synchronicity. Yeah. So who you were talking about, Senator Schmidt,
Yes.
he is this astronaut who took a picture of the blue marble. If you believe that or not, you can look at it and you can see it's Photoshop. But you got NASA connections putting on the cattle mutilation conferences.
Yep.
It's I even got the story in here right here. Oh, next slide. Perfect. FBI joins investigation of animal mutilations. And this was the event put on by Harry Schmidt.
Yep.
Schmidt, yeah. It's absolutely it's all there. All the documents. Even this first slide, I'll just skip through real quick. Sorry, I'll just do blah 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 blah. But this first slide, I got this from Matt Ehret's Substack. And Walter Bedell Smith, he was a high-ranking Mason. And in 1952, the CIA director wrote to the director of the Psychology Strategy Board of the CIA saying that the UFO is psychological warfare. It appears to have implications of psychological warfare. So right there, it's saying that this is a mind control. This goes into mind control.
Yeah, and that's what Carl Jung was pretty much saying as well, that it's psychological, it's like perception. What you're seeing is like your perceptional views of the time. That's why some people claim to see disc back in the day, and now it's evolved into something completely different than like it was in ancient times. It used to be shields in the sky and pillars and all that, and then it's evolved because our brains have evolved, our minds have evolved.
Yes. And I'm not ruling out that there's not a phenomenon that is going on. It could be plasma balls, right? Coming through intelligence that way. So I'm not throwing everything out, but the Blink 182, TMZ, which is owned by Fox, which is owned by Disney, putting this into the minds of us, that is very questionable for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like a controlled way. I mean, people in the community call it a drip disclosure. You know what I mean? They'll just drip out a few little things here and there and get people's minds adjusted to the idea of extraterrestrials when they've never said that extraterrestrials are real. That's the thing. See, people they think that because the Pentagon comes out and says that UFOs, or what they've changed it into now, UAPs, are real, and they're confirming that means that extraterrestrials are also real. That is not the case. They have never said that extraterrestrials are real, or that they exist, or that they're the ones that are in control of the craft.